Good morning, Panther fans. And what a good morning it is. Now, we hear the plane above Stu's house. Um, that's the CIA coming to get him. I'm fairly certain. And so if we see if we're live here, this is live on TV, man. So if Stu gets arrested for I don't know, uh I don't know.
You're weird.
It's early, bro.
What the hell? It's 9 o'clock. We did the thing 7:30 the other
Yeah, I
morning.
got toddlers, man. What do you
That was
want
that
from
was
me?
crazy, man. 7:30 in the morning. What
Right?
dedication to
I
your
know.
channel and
I
your
know.
subscribers.
All right. So good morning. Stu was at the game yesterday, and I'm having some sort of allergic reaction to something I ate last night, which is why if you guys watch the recap, the post game recap, it seems like I'm stoned and I'm slurring my speech. It's not that. It's because my tongue won't move right. It's getting a little bit better now, but whatever I ate for dinner last night, by the end of the stream, I was yelling because I couldn't move my tongue, so I'm having to just yell. So at the end of the recap, it sounds like I'm stoned. So the point is I'm going to let Stu talk. Go ahead, brother.
All right. So thank you to Mark for the ticket, the ride. Always a pleasure. My Mark, I'm not going to jinx it, but we have a really good track record going to the game together, and he's got a couple of friends that we ride with. So our posse is, I think, undefeated. Anyway, so riding down, I'm going through my normal what we need to do, blah blah blah, and of course, got to stop McDavid, got to stop Draisaitl, got to stop Kane, those three guys. Get to the game, find out Calvin Pickard is playing goal. Now, Calvin
Well,
Pickard,
keep
and they show the
talking.
record.
Keep talking.
They show the record. Sergei Bobrovsky, whatever, 8-5-1, whatever, and then Calvin Pickett has no record. And then I find out on the NHL Network he hasn't played a game since 2022. So Edmonton, that's why that deal, that deal. Never mind about the deal. Anyway, I'll get to eggplant. Anyway, so it was the one thing I will tell you. Connor McDavid is just in a class of his own, and I don't think I've missed an Edmonton game. I don't even know if I've missed an Edmonton game with Connor McDavid. I love going to watch Edmonton just to isolate on McDavid. I mean, there's certain things you can see on TV,
Right.
and then there's other things that you don't see that you see live.
Right.
The guy is the freaking roadrunner. How now? You asked me before we, started recording.
Yeah.
About the penalty shot.
Yeah. And
Well,
good morning. Good morning,
all,
Dustin and Jackson in the chat. Just wanted to.
Good morning, guys. All right. So
morning.
First of all, let's talk about the first goal. The guy's on the goal line.
I know.
Now only a lefty could make that shot, but I mean it was in the net before you could blink.
Right.
Bobrovsky,
right.
No chance. All right, and then what was it? Kane got the second goal.
Yeah. It was literally I was done lifting, and the second I dropped the weights and I stood back up, and Kane scored, and I had
a couple of defensive mistakes.
Yeah.
Anyway, I liked our fight. I liked our comeback. Verhaeghe's, man. He's got a shot that just finds its way in the net. He's a goal scorer.
Yeah.
And then the big surprise of the night was freaking Mikkola.
Yeah, right.
Mikkola bringing it every night. First of all, another big observation. We're loaded at defense.
Uh-huh.
I mean, they talked about our defense being the weak link this year. Think about it.
Yeah.
You got Forsling and Ekblad, and I got to give Ekblad credit. He looks really good. He looks fast. He looks fresh. He's not making the stupid mistakes. He's hitting people. Okay. Then you got Mikkola and Montour. Who would have thunk it with Montour back, the offensive
Yeah,
part of the pair. And
Right.
Mikula is the one doing, but Montour looks great, looks fresh,
Yeah,
looks
yeah, yeah.
healthy, just moving really good. And then to top it all off, you got Ekman Larson and Kulikov.
Right.
So if any of the pundits say we got a weak defense, they don't know what the fuck they're talking
Yeah,
about.
exactly.
Another observation, cool thing, there were, I don't know, I saw at least 25, maybe 30 of these guys wearing half Sweden,
Uh-huh.
half Panther, and on the back it said Ekman in Sweden, and
Uh-huh.
then Larson in Panther Red.
That's
Very
pretty
cool
cool.
jerseys. I don't know where
That's
they
pretty
got
cool.
those, but very cool.
That's
All right.
pretty
So
cool.
anyway, tie game, and then they went ahead again on that infamous breakaway. And this is where I have so much respect for McDavid, because I've never seen a player go from, like, let's imagine a Porsche going 60, just
Right.
cruising. And
Right.
all of a sudden the driver says, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going into fifth and sixth gear. And
Right.
boom, he's going 90. And that's what happened on that play.
Yeah.
Should it have been a penalty shot? If it was one of us, probably not. Probably a
Right.
tripping. But it's
Right.
McDavid.
Right. Well, that's
And that's the respect that the refs have for McDavid. As
right.
soon as it was called, I said, well, that's a
Yeah.
goal.
Yeah.
Right? Did you
Yeah.
think the same thing?
I was too busy screaming and being pissed off that they called it in the first place. And this is something I'm going to get into. I'm going to have something out on this later, so I don't want to delve in it too much here. But I'm going to do a breakdown of the rule, the written rule, and what happened. And maybe I talk myself out of where my opinion is. I'm not. I'm going into it trying to talk myself out of being pissed off, because my assumption is if the dude gets a shot off, it's not a penalty shot. And he got a shot off and beat Bob. He just missed the net. So, but I don't want to belabor that point too much, because I do want to do something on that later.
Right.
And
But
Dustin's asking about the gotcha fight. That's the fun stuff.
I'll get to that. I'll get
Okay.
to that.
Yeah.
But you got to understand, everything's subjective with the referees. In fact, I'll get to the Lomberg penalty in a second.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, everything's subjective. But when you're dealing with a guy like Connor McDavid, he's going to always get the call.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
The fight. What's wild about the like right before the fight, I'm telling Mark, this guy, Desjardins or whatever his name is a freaking redwood. The guy's got to be like 6'9" on skates. Like, he reminded me of Chara. And then Darnell Nurse is another redwood. He's probably like 6'6". Right. So the two of them were next to each other. And then Lomberg skated in the picture, the midget.
Yeah.
And I'm like laughing about that. So, gotcha, man. I thought it was a great fight. It happened right in front of us. I thought he did more than hold his own against this giant.
Yeah.
So hats off to him.
Yeah.
So while I'm at it,
you were going to talk
Lomberg basically gets, like a cowboy throws, in that rodeo competition, they have the cowboys, they throw the steer.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I saw the ref go like this, I said, Mark, they're going to get frickin' Lomberg for embellishment. Sure enough. And I'm like, embellishment. They showed the replay on the Jumbotron. I'm like, fuck, what embellishment? I literally picked him up in the air and threw him down. Again, subjective. Again, giving Edmonton a chance to, get in the game.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, we tie it. Mikula, another, good goal. I actually thought I think it was Rodriguez. I thought Rodriguez had tipped it in, but I guess not.
Right.
And forgive me if I'm wrong with who it was.
No, it was Mikula. They showed the replay a couple of times because they weren't sure. It kind of looked like Rodriguez, but the puck didn't hit his stick, so it was Mikula.
Okay, so we're back and forth, and then that play, Stenlin started to play. I don't know, bounced around, whatever, boom, boom, boom. And then he was just, in the right place at the right time. Goal, 4-3. Okay. So now we're in shutdown mode. I think Mark told me we only had 2 shots in the third period. I don't know if that's correct, but for the most part, we're doing, when we try to do this in the past, they always seem to tie it up.
Yeah.
They're not doing that this year. And I'd have to look at the stat to see if we are number 1 in the league with 1 goal wins. But 4-3, got our 4 goals. It's 5-3, whatever. But, empty net. That's Bennett's first goal.
Yeah.
But get Bob 4 goals.
Right.
Pretty much going to win the game.
Yep.
He made some great saves at the end. We got lucky.
Yeah.
And all I can say is the Panthers are now 12-5-1. I believe that's their record.
Is it 12? I think you might
be right. 12-5-1. This I think I saw from the NHL Network.
Yeah, that's 12-5-1.
We are 7-1 in our last 8 games.
Yeah, well, 8-2 in the last 10, but yeah,
right. Edmonton, I think they're 5-10-1. Not only do they need goaltending, but they need defense. I counted at least 6 defensive mistakes that either led to Panther goals or almost led to Panther goals.
Yeah.
So,
and I know it wouldn't have been a penalty shot, but the penalty that the goalie took, because I forget who he ended up holding. I forget, was it Cousins or Long?
Cousins?
It was Cousins. Okay, and
I think Lawrence was in front there too.
Yeah. But I mean, the goalie literally held on to him.
Yeah.
And I know it wouldn't be a penalty shot, but I just wonder, because the rule is if there's a clear breakaway. So I'm just wondering, would that apply if the puck is just standing there in the crease and the guy's getting ready to hit it in and he gets tackled? Like, I wonder if that's a subjective thing where the referee could have, had the lenience. I'm not saying it should have been. I'm just out of curiosity, because technically he was going to put the puck in the net and he got held. So
yeah, well, that definitely saved the goal.
Right.
So when you're talking about a good penalty to take, but I don't think there's anything in the rule book about something like that. Maybe it should be looked at. That was a very rare and odd play.
Yeah. It doesn't happen very often where the goalie holds on to a guy.
I really like our team. I don't see too many weak links. And as long as we play smart, don't take stupid penalties, and don't make defensive mistakes, we're going to win every game. We got a solid goaltender. We got, even without Barkov, we got 2 strong top 2 lines.
And look, don't discount Stenlund. The dude has 5 goals now.
Yep.
Oh, and I have a theory. Go ahead, you first, but then
I want to give honorable mention to Chucky, because he didn't score last night.
Right.
But the kid is so freaking smart. And the little things he does. Now, did you notice there was, I don't know, at least one time when, he's done this a number of times, where he'll dive and get his stick on the puck to get it out of the zone or something like that.
Yep.
So he did that again last night.
Yeah.
He's great in the corners. He's great behind the net. He's so smart. He just knows, like I said, hockey's a game of chess.
Yeah. And look, every game he's looking a little bit more like himself.
Yeah, he's just so.
Yeah. So
thumbs up to the show.
I brought it up on the recap last night, and I'm half joking, but half of me is wondering if, because you've lived up north, right? Okay. And especially from like October until at least June, you got shoes on, and you might have heavy winter boots on. You know what I mean? And your feet hurt, right? So my theory is as to why all these guys come from other teams and do so well in Florida is because they can wear flip flops all the time and their feet don't hurt and they skate faster. I'm just saying. Kachuk has said it 100 times, man. I can come to the rink in my flip flops and my sandals. I'm just saying. Because everybody that comes here is just like all of a sudden, right? Mikkola, that's these two. Mikkola, Stenlin. I know there's one other guy.
Larson,
right? Yeah. So it's just every time we get somebody that comes here, all of a sudden they're the best player they've ever been, and it doesn't matter to the coaches. I mean, I know it's been GM. I mean, it's all been Zito finding these guys, but it's putting your feet in the salt water. They got fresh feet. It's what it is, man. I'm telling you.
well, that's another thing that Mark and I discussed on the way home, and that's Bill Zito, because we were talking about Mikkola. You know, where did Mikkola come from? I never heard of this guy.
Right.
He's a big dude too.
He is, yeah.
All right. So, we've never been a big team, but yeah, I can't say enough about that kid. He's got 3 goals now. Larson's been a beast.
Yeah.
I really like the Larson Montour combo at the blue line for the power play. They're obviously have gotten the message about shooting the puck more on the power play. Obviously, we got one for Hagee.
Keep talking. I got to mute myself. I got to sneeze.
All right. But we're not looking for that perfect, slot shot by Reinhart. So I just really like, what's going on. The penalty kill for the most part has been solid. Luosterainen, got to give him some props because he played really good last night. Lundell played really good. I like the fact that they reunited the Lundell, Luosterainen, and Reinhart line. Reinhart got a point last night. Bennett scores his first goal, empty net, whatever. He looks solid. I mean, we're looking. This is what we said before the season started.
Right.
Let's see what happens in the first 20 games.
Yeah.
Because we know we're going to be without. I mean, we thought we were going to be without Ekblad and Montour till December.
Right.
So it's amazing that they're back.
Yeah.
But those 2 guys are looking great. Excuse me. And having them in the lineup with the guys we already have, I mean, I just can't wait for Barkov to come back and for us to stay healthy for a while.
Yeah.
I mean,
again, Dustin is asking, he says, people mentioning Ekblad skating a lot better. Do you think that has something to do with him training with Montour? I think Randy and Goldie talked about that on one of the broadcasts where those 2 guys were able to train together and push each other a lot harder.
Well, the guy that pushed them was Hornquist.
Okay.
And I'm sitting with Mark. And Mark's seats are right below where the owner's box is, and to the left of the owner's box is Luongo, Zito, Hornquist, the assistant GM. They're all in that box.
Right.
And Hornquist is in there.
Yeah.
And I watched when I got home, they had State of the Panthers. They have those little vignettes, so to speak.
Yeah.
And Zito was talking about the value of Patrick Hornquist. So I started talking about loyalty and, how Vinny is just such a, he's an Army guy, he's a loyal guy. Think about it. So he kept Sean Thornton, who's now the VP of Business Operations. So He's involved with sponsorships and stuff. By the way, it was really nice. I got to say hello to him. Haven't seen him in a while.
Nice.
And then Luongo. Okay, kept Luongo, who's running the goaltender.
Right.
And Hornquist.
Right.
Who they love. So I think the combination, like you said, Montour and Ekblad rehabbing together with Hornquist with them, they look, both of them, and I got to give Ekblad his due.
Yeah.
He's playing really good.
No, he is.
He missed one. I thought he was going to get one last night. I really did. The way he was playing.
Yeah.
But I was
just going to say the only thing I've noticed with Montour, it's not so much of a complaint as it is an observation. He's so excited and so quick right now that he's being a little bit too aggressive on the power play and overskating and losing the puck a little bit. So we need him to get one in the back of the net so he'll settle down just a wee bit, because he's so, like, you could see him out there is like ready to go. That it's just he's overdoing it a little bit on the power play. So he needs a goal. He needs to get one in.
Yeah, and it will come.
Yeah.
But this just goes to show you what the team concept. Connor McDavid is the best hockey player in the league.
Right.
Edmonton, 5-10-1.
Yeah.
They got Draisaitl. They have no goalie.
I know.
And their defense is weak.
Right.
We have a solid team. Our fourth line's better this year. The third line looks good. Was it Cousins, Lundberg, and
last night the third line was Stenlund, Cousins, and Luosterainen because Barkov.
No, it was Luosterainen and Lundell and Reinhart on the second line, on the third line.
No, Lundell took Barkov's spot, bro. Lundell took It was Lundell with Verhaeghe and Reinhart.
All
and
right.
then Bennett with Tkachuk.
No.
I'm just telling you what they told us on the
Lundell,
podcast.
Luosterainen. Hey, guys, correct us. It was Lundell, Luosterainen, and Reinhart to start the game. I'm telling
you what they told us in the broadcast.
I'm telling you what I saw.
Right.
They started the game, and they were on the ice every time McDavid was on the ice.
Huh.
You guys check me if I'm wrong.
All
so
right.
I don't even know who played first line center. I mean, on the Barkov line. So, and Rodriguez didn't play on that line. Rodriguez was on the third line. It was Rodriguez, Cousins, and maybe Lundberg. But I'm telling you, Luosterainen, Lundell, and Reinhart were put back together, and I was really happy
maybe
about
he moved
that.
them around after. Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just going by what George reported.
But every time McDavid was on the ice, that line was on the ice. And they pretty much did a good job of blanketing him.
Right.
And that's the only way that you can shut him down and hit him. Our defensive guys, smacked him around a little bit. But in spite of that, he scores 2 goals.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. Well.
Anyway, all right, so let's talk about Wednesday.
Yeah, boy.
So the Bruins lost to Tampa in overtime. Stamkos tied it up on a Stammer one-timer with 4 seconds left.
Know.
Does that remind you of a game a few years ago when he did the same thing to us?
I like to think of it more along the lines of when we did it to the Canes at the end in game 4.
But I remember a few years ago, same thing, Kucherov. And that's the amazing thing. That's reminds me of Barkov and Huberdeau, how they used to find each other. I mean, Kucherov last night, and I watched the replay like 3 or 4 times. Kucherov passed it cross ice, which I never liked that pass, but it found a way to Stamkos. Perfect one-timer. Boom, it's in the net. 4 seconds. And then Hagel, pretty much on I'm not going to say a breakaway, but kind of sort of 5-holes it.
Right.
Swayman played great. So, all right. So Boston still gets a point. And they're here on Wednesday.
Yeah. And
so I'm trying to get a ticket for Wednesday because I do want to catch that game. But we're right there, man.
Right. Right.
12-5-1. That's what, 18 games?
So Dustin has the lines here, and it's interesting because and it just goes to show you how it ends up going. As Dustin says, per Jameson last night, you're correct, Stu, was Lundell, Luosterainen, Reinhart, Bennett, Tkachuk, Verhaeghe. Stenlund was the 3 seed with Rodriguez and Cousins, and then the 4th line was Lorenz, Lomberg, and Godjevich. Now, that's completely different from what George put out a couple hours before the game, and even when we were because Kyle's running the pregame stream. That's what was so those two guys were reporting different things. But then I do remember Randy talking about they didn't want to break up Lundell and Luosterainen. So it doesn't matter.
But that when I saw them at the
Right.
opening face-off, I said that's great. I mean,
yeah.
I was really happy because that line had so much chemistry.
Right.
You got to remember, it's only like having Rodriguez with Barkov that made Reinhart go.
Right.
Reinhart's always been comfortable playing with Lundell.
Yeah.
So in that line, like I said, for the most part, that line shut down.
Right.
Not necessarily McDavid, but Draisaitl for sure.
Right. Yeah.
Usually Draisaitl kills us with a goal.
Yeah.
He wasn't really a threat last night. But listen, if you would have asked me, would I expect the Panthers to be where they are right now? I would say 50-50. We didn't know what was going to happen with the guys they were bringing in. I mean, basically, that's a plane.
They're coming. They're coming to get you, Stu.
Basically, we, kind of sort of had a whole new defensive core.
Yeah. No,
but,
just
now that I think, Ekblad and Montour have played 2 games now.
Yeah.
The big test is going to be Wednesday.
Yeah.
So you got the Rat and you got Pasternak and
we're going to get
McAvoy. Excuse me?
We're going to get Olmark because Swayman played last night.
Yeah.
So.
You know what? Fuck it. Doesn't matter.
Right. Well.
It don't matter. Bob's got to be on his game. The defense has got to be on its game. The thing with the Bruins is we always seem to take a freaking stupid penalty at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Can't let that happen. And we get Bob his 4 goals. We get a couple of early goals. This team is so resilient coming back.
Right.
But I always like it when we're up 1 or 2 goals. I mean, we were up 2 goals in Boston. Look what happened.
Yeah, I prefer when we're up 4 because it seems like when we're up, we have much better luck being down 2 than we do being up 2. I mean, because the longer it goes that we're winning 2-0, eventually there's 1, there's 2, and now we're losing. And it happens so often. We
are the comeback cats.
Yeah,
we got to be up at the top of the league in comeback wins.
Yeah,
but we're getting it done. So Panther fans should feel pretty good about the team. Can we sustain this?
Why not?
Well,
what do we got? I mean, what kind of point pace are we on?
We got 25 points.
We got 25 points in 18 games, right? Come on. I'm not looking for more.
So that's 100.
Yesterday.
Or 100, and what did I say? 104 is what I said.
4 is that's 72. That's 100, and then there'd be 12 more games. It's like 113, 114 point pace we're on right now.
Right, and I don't know. I mean, I said 104 maybe before 15. The year. That should get us in the top 3, but you never know.
Right. Well, look, I mean, the I've been talking about this on the podcast a lot. I mean, the Atlantic is, or the Eastern Conference especially. I mean,
look at the Rangers. Look what the Rangers are doing.
Well, it's the Rangers are not so much of a surprise. It's the Flyers and Capitals have won 5 and 4 straight respectively, and that's who's in 2nd and 3rd place in the Metro. The Flyers and the Capitals.
Yep.
So, unless
Flyers for sure. I haven't been really following the Capitals, but Tortorella's really got the Flyers playing, and your boy's doing pretty good. So, but anyway, I watched the end of the Kings Arizona game. Kings look solid, so I'm not embarrassed at all that we lost to the Kings. They're an elite team in the West. Listen, it's Vegas and the Kings.
Right.
Okay, throw Winnipeg in there as
don't discount Colorado
and Vancouver.
don't
Yeah,
discount
Colorado
Colorado.
lost. They lost last night.
Yeah, that's still a dangerous team.
But as far as the East goes, as far as our division goes, man, there's no reason why we can't take the top spot.
Well, we'll find out Wednesday.
I
That's
just don't want to play the Bruins in the opening round.
well, and that's yeah. I kind of almost would be okay with them getting the top spot because that way we know most likely we're not getting them in the first round because whoever they get in the first round, I keep saying it. I'll be shocked if forget about losing a game, okay? I'll be shocked if the team if they allow a goal. I mean, they're going to
Listen,
be all sorts of pissed off whoever they pick.
any one of those three teams, Bruins, Canes, Toronto, are all going to be looking for our heads.
Yeah, but
I'm not going to say they were embarrassed by us, but
I mean,
they were expected to beat us. We beat them, especially, the way we handled Carolina.
right.
I mean, Brendamore's still delusional, doesn't think that we swept them. So there's a little extra incentive for those three teams. So
Yeah, no, that's true. With Boston has a different situation because they have the goalies that can, if they, Patrick Waugh, right? Look at how motivated he was because of what happened in Montreal, and we got the shit end of that stick. You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
Same situation as last year with the '96 team. We ran out of gas, man. We beat
well,
we beat Lindros and the Flyers,
right,
and then we beat Lemieux and Yager.
Yeah.
So by the time we got to Colorado, especially with the the atmosphere up there,
right,
Mile High City,
yeah,
we were gassed.
No, it's true.
I mean, it shouldn't have been 4-0. Okay, triple overtime. I mean, Van Briesbroek both goalies were great, but
yeah,
forget about it. But last year, unfortunately, we had the injuries that none of us really knew about.
Right.
And we were just gassed, man.
Yeah, no.
We laid it all out on the table.
Right.
The Boston series took its toll on us physically. Then the Toronto, I mean, the way we were playing.
Right.
And I got to tell you, we're not playing that rock'em sock'em
right.
cruising game.
Right.
Where, we're playing with more finesse than brawn. But we're
playing smart. You know what I mean?
That's Maurice.
Yeah.
So we got to give Maurice credit where credit's due.
Absolutely.
And Zito made a point of saying that because Goldie asked him, "Did you have any doubts when we were not playing so good?" And Zito said, "Not for a second."
Yeah.
So,
no,
the team.
Yeah. Yep.
It's not one player. It's the team. Everybody's producing. Look at Lomberg. Lomberg was in front of the net twice, 2 goals. He's right there.
Right.
Mikola's goal, and I forget the other one. Maybe it was Stenlin's goal.
Probably.
Lomberg's right there.
Yeah.
The freaking smallest guy on the ice with the biggest heart.
Yeah.
No he gives you 110% every time he steps on the ice.
And he's got competition for best flow with Stenlin. Have you seen Stenlin with his helmet off? He looks like George Lutz from the Amityville Horror. For those of you who remember that movie, he does. He's got all. He looks like he's a scary looking dude. I wouldn't want to. You know what I mean? How do you like to be on the opposite end of Lomberg and Stenlin flying down the ice on you at you? It just no, I'm good. I'm good right here on TV. So,
that was a good fight.
Yeah.
They both got a couple of shots in, but gotcha, man. He's fighting a guy that's 4 inches, 5 inches taller than him.
Yeah.
Gotcha's not a big guy, but
actually he's not that small. I think.
Well,
I think he is 6'2", 209. That's
what I'd like to see what that. And I'm mispronouncing his name. I don't know if it's Desjardins or
Desjardins or however it's pronounced.
I'd like to see what his height is.
Godjevich is 6'2", and I'm telling you, he looks just like George Lutz from the Amityville Horror. It's this. Well, that's Godjevich. They all do. I was talking about Stedlin, but Godjevich looks just like him too. We got a bunch of possessed guys on the ice. I think that's what it is. All right. Any last words?
Lundell, Reinhardt, Luosterainen.
Yeah.
That's the line right now. I mean, obviously, Bennett, Kachuk, and Verhaeghe are deadly also, but
right.
That's the line I think they're going to go with on Wednesday night against Marchand and Pasternak.
Yeah.
Shut down that line. I mean, Bruins have some other good players, but shut down Coyle and McAvoy and, pop some goals in on Olmark early.
Yeah. Yep. All right, Panther
man, I'd love to see us take the Bruins. That's a 4-point game.
That's yeah. If anybody has any hopes of first place, that's a must win in regulation. And I know it's early, but I'll be okay with second. Either I want to win the game, but my concern about if we win first place is it means the Bruins fell off. And I don't want the Bruins falling off and getting the 8 seed if we're the 1 seed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't see that happening.
So no, we'll take 2, and we'll either have home ice against the Leafs or the Lightning, and that's.
Watch out for the Lightning. Vasilevsky's coming back soon.
Yeah, well, we'll see how he looks.
Never count them out.
Not counting them out, but I think we could skate the Lightning into the ground right now. Our bottom 6 is pretty damn good, bro. Even without Barkov, we've just got a bunch of guys that just go. We're skating teams to death.
Bill Zito is a fucking genius.
Yeah, we need that T-shirt.
Yeah, you know what? Great idea.
Yeah, we need a T-shirt that says that. I don't know if I guess there's places that would let me print that up. So, all right, Panther fans,
you have to check that out and send one to One Panther Parkway.
Yeah. Well, you never know.
If we get one, I'll do that. I'll get it to Randy, and he'll get it to Zito.
All right. Yeah, that sounds good. All right, guys. I'll be back later with some extra content, and I'll have the podcast out. Tom's going to join me at noon. So the podcast should be out about 1:15 to 1:30 for members. Appreciate all the support. And Stu and I will see you bright and early, hopefully 8 o'clock Thursday morning.